Hello, this is Bob Oros coming to you today with lesson number 45 from Wooster, Ohio. Now, Wooster, Ohio is a small town in central Ohio. Not too much going on there, kind of a unique small little city. One thing whenever you're traveling out throughout Ohio, you're going to notice is comfort food. And what is comfort food? Well, you're looking at it right there. Fried chicken, green beans, ham, stuffing. That was enough to make anybody comfortable. One thing about Wooster that you may not know, it is the headquarters for certified Angus beef. Now, I do know quite a bit about certified Angus beef. I attended their school a couple of times, and I was also an instructor there for a couple of their schools. So very interesting concept, and I do believe that they made a great contribution to the industry as a whole. One of the things that you may not know is early 1970s. I can remember, I told you back I was 200 years old, so I can go back a ways. But certified Angus beef came onto the scene in the late 1970s, but in the early 1970s, when you went into the supermarket, everything was fat. I mean, the whole supermarket meat counter was white, covered with all that good fat. And then they discovered cholesterol in the middle 1970s. And they made a big change in the meat grading system, and they took out all the fat, the very thing that made it taste good. So that's when certified Angus beef decided to bring some of that fat back, have a higher grading standard, and lo and behold, they became very successful. Now, certified Angus beef, the quality and the tender is a great standard. Doesn't mean that certified Angus beef is the only beef that's good. Any beef that meets the standards that certified Angus beef does, it's going to be tasty. But there's nothing better than a really good steak. Matter of fact, you look at this steak here, and we're going to talk more about the meat grading and so on when we get into our meat course. But for right now, just know that a good steak is an art form to prepare it and to cook it and to know the meat, know what kind of meat you have to make it good. This here is about as good as eating gets right here. You see it's got the bone in it, so it gives you a little something to chew on afterwards. It's also it's a rib eye, but it's closer to the chuck. You can tell by the larger cap on it and the smaller eye. And that is a spiritual experience right there to cut down through there. And let me slip out of the way here for a minute so you can get a view of the whole thing. Isn't that a beautiful sight? Anyway, today's lesson, number 45, what percent of sales are lost in the very first 60 seconds of the sales call? So you walk in, you start giving your sales pitch, and you've lost them. And today, people are just bombarded with so many salespeople, so many advertising messages. The number is hard to believe that there's so many ways that they can be interrupted today. And there is a preliminary process that you have to go through before you begin your sales process. If you don't, you're going to lose before you even begin. And what is that? Well, you have to get their attention. 90% of sales are lost in the first 60 seconds of the sales presentation because people fail to do this. So how do you do that? Well, what do you do? How do you go in? What do you do to get their attention? And this lesson is filled with some really good ideas for you to use. And if you use you can use one for all of your customers as far as that goes, one a week for all of your customers. But if you come up with a good attention getter, something that hits home with them, something that they'll be interested in, you can believe your presentation will go much, much smoother. So with that in mind, listen to this audio, read the PDF, send me a comment if you have any questions or need any more information. But you have a great day, make a great sale, and naturally go out and have yourself a great ribeye steak. You'll love it. Thanks again. Talk to you soon.